And now I have a wonderful opportunity as we are going to now go switch it up a little bit today. And so I want to welcome you back here to our Super Saturday training, as you're going to have a chance now as we change it up a little bit. We're going to talk about how to set up a daily method of operation that is going to blow up your business, blow up your team, blow up your social media presence, because I can't think of anyone better to share this amazing knowledge and experience on how to do a DMO and make a difference in your personal business and your life, as well as your team, than to turn it over to the expert in social media and magnetic marketing herself, who is our in-house expert, who has helped thousands of people in the network marketing profession turn it up, turn it out, and make it hot. And that is my dear friend and business team partner. Over to you, Brandy Shaver.
Hey guys, I am so excited to be here today, excited to be able to share with you what's working in our team, what's working in what I'm teaching in, like Anne said, many different network marketers. And really what it boils down to as a network marketer, business owner, entrepreneur online is that you've got to have a daily mode of operation. And this training is going to be something where I need you guys to participate, right? I'm sure you've been on one of my trainings before. And if you haven't, I don't want to talk at you, okay? I want this to be interactive. I want you to ask questions. I want you to, just really dive in, because that's how we learn. Did you guys know that 80% of people learn by monkey see, monkey do, right? There's other modalities that we learn in, but this is the main way that we learn. And so what I want to start with is, what is a daily mode of operation? Because I've actually had this question asked to me before. And I was like, you know what? It's probably a really great idea to start there. So what is a daily mode of operation? Can someone tell me in the chat, what is a daily mode of operation? And then while you're chatting that out, why do you need a daily mode of operation? And we're going to talk about why it's powerful to have one to get results in your business. Because one big mistake that network marketers make when they take their businesses online is that they don't know what to do in what order to get results in their business using social media. You see, there's an algorithm. Have you guys heard about this thing called an algorithm? Well, it's not designed for you to sell on social media. In fact, it's the very opposite, okay? So the algorithm is very, what's the word I would say? Sensitive. That's the word I would use. It's sensitive. And in order for all the things that we've been teaching you on social media and the things that you've learned from Kat and you've learned from Adrian in stories, for you to get results, you have to know how the algorithm works, okay? And it never fails. It never fails. I'm going to tell you right now, people try and beat the system, okay? And because we're always looking for a hack. How many of you are looking for hacks, right? Let's try to beat the system. Let's figure out a way to do this faster, quicker, work less, make more, right? That is my actually motto. So, well, I can tell you that trying to cheat the system, especially the algorithm, is just going to get you super frustrated, and it's not going to work. I've actually tried it. All of my team has tried to hack this, and it's just the way it is. So you're not going to get the eyes on your stuff to grow your team and get new team members if you don't follow this algorithm hack stuff. Okay, so we're going to get into this, and here's what I want. We're going to get into that here in a second, but first I want to talk about what it takes to build a real business on social media. Okay, so is it all right for me to be real with you guys? And let me just check the chat right here. Yep, so you guys are right on track. Daily mode of operation is what you do every day, but is it all right for me to be real? Because sometimes the way I say things hurts people's feelings. I'm very straightforward. And so I want permission from you if it's okay for me to be real, because this is going to be eye-opening for you. And this was eye-opening for me when I had to take a look in the mirror. I want you to take a look in your mirror, and I want you to ask yourself, do I have what it takes to build a business? Because it's easy to blame others, blame the algorithm, blame life, blame not enough time, blame your boss, blame your spouse, blame anyone and everything but yourself that your business isn't growing. But guess whose business it is? Can you guys tell me whose business it is? And it's your responsibility to work your business, right? The biggest issue I know for me, when I wasn't clear on what to do every day, I found myself just scrolling through wastebook is what we like to call it. When we're not actually in social media to build our business, we call it wastebook. And or social, just getting lost in social media. But no more. I want you guys to really get intentional about what you're doing. You got to get in, get out, build your business, and I'm going to show you how. Okay. So the question I want to ask you, and this is where it kind of gets a little like, ooh, she might be a little mean, and I'm not trying to be mean. I just know I've been here in the same place. Would you hire or fire yourself based on what you did yesterday, this last week in your business? And there's no judgment here. It's not for me. I'm not judging you. It's your business. I'm going to go about doing what I do, no matter what you do with your business. But this is for you to become aware of what is actually happening in your business. And I'm going to tell you the reason I ask you this, because I'm a person that thinks about my business a lot. And when we're thinking about our business, we're not actually building our business, right? We're just thinking about our business. It feels like we're building our business, but we're thinking about building our business. Can you guys see the difference? And can you think back in the last maybe week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks, where you're like, I felt like I was building my business, but did I actually get anything done? Or was I just thinking about building my business? Because it's hard for your brain to know the difference, okay? So if your answer is no, I wouldn't hire myself based on my actions I took this last week or yesterday or whatever you want, then you might need to go about different actions to get to your goals, right? More than likely, you need a daily mode of operation or a set of behaviors to get you from A to B, okay, to get you to your goal. Now, look, this starts with where you want to go, okay? This is the first thing. We've got to know where you want to go. And then the DMO is the actions you take every day without exception. These actions get done every freaking day, okay? Whether you like it, whether you hate structure, whether you work a job, whether you have kids, whether whatever, right? Why is a DMO important? Well, you're clear on what you have to do every day, okay? You know exactly how long it will take to get done, so you can plan accordingly and you're not like blindsided by whatever else you got going on. It gets you closer to your goals each time you complete it, and you stop wasting more time and you actually have more time, okay? So that's the reason a DMO is important. A bad DMO is just doing what you can each day to move forward, not on a clear plan of action or really any intention. It's just kind of willy-nilly, just like throwing it out there, right? And a great DMO is one that's going to get results, has a clearly defined action you take every day. It's simple, okay? It's simple. And I'm going to show you what not to do because I'm guilty of this. Let me show you this. It's not a list of 100,000 things to do every day, okay? It's easy to do every day, even when you're busy, and it's full of the activities that make you money. Okay, now here's my story behind this because I am an entrepreneur. Okay, how many of you are entrepreneurs? Raise your hand. Let me know. We don't like structure. We don't like having a boss. There's a reason that you're here with Xelliss to build your business, to build a side income, right? To build maybe your permanent income, to maybe fire your boss, all those things. It's because you don't love having a boss. It's because you don't love putting in a box. And when I say to you, DMO, right? Let's build a DMO. Let's get clear on what you're doing. Let's do it every day. Your entrepreneur spirit is like, this is BS, right? Like I did not sign up for somebody to tell me what to do because I was the same way. Okay. But what I found when I built my DMO and I was very clear on what to do each day and I scheduled it into my schedule, I had more time. And instead of thinking about my business all the time and growing my business and on my phone while I'm with my kids or on my phone while I'm, at dinner with my husband, trying to get everything done with my prospects, with my clients, with, customers, enrolling people, whatever, I ended up with more time. It's a crazy thing. It's completely insane. It actually feels like it's backwards. But guess what? When you plan it, you have it in your calendar, you know exactly what you're doing every day, you get more time back. And that's what I'm going to teach you here, okay? So having a DMO and being loyal to it is a skill. And I want you guys to know this because it took me a long time to master this. And it still is never perfect, never perfect. I had a plan this weekend to take my husband off for the weekend for his birthday. And plans just kind of got blown up, right? Like it just got blown up. And that's what happens sometimes. And that's okay. but you've got to get it in your schedule. Okay. Everything's got to be in your schedule, because otherwise you're going to feel like you're building your business all the time. All right. So let's, first, I want to really just get clear on the number one thing that you've got to do, and your homework has to get done, is you've got to know where you're at and where you're going. Those are the two things. Okay. Where you're at and where you're going. So if you are brand new to Xelliss, okay, you're brand new, maybe you want to hit bronze by next week. Okay. That would be a realistic goal. You can set one for 30 days. I want you to set a 30-day goal. And we just started the period in here inside of Xelliss. So really sit down with your upline, or, whomever that you are with, and really get a goal on where you want to be at the end of this period. Okay. It's almost 30 days. We just barely started it. So I think we're like a week in. All right. But you've got to have a plan to get there. For instance, though, I want you to remember, if you're brand new, because I used to do this to myself, like I'd be like brand new, right? And I'd be like, I'm making $1 million in December of 2021, and I just enrolled. Well, first off, if you haven't ever even made $5,000 in your business, start there. Okay. Don't go, I'm going to make $1 million in 30 days. That's unrealistic. So make sure your goals are unrealistic. The other thing that I want you to make sure you do is you put a timestamp on it. And I am asking you, because we're in the middle of this period, not in the middle, but just started in this period, I want your goal to be by the end of this period. Okay. So whatever that is, and you can put it in the chat, you can drop it in the group, whatever, but you've got to get it down on paper and put it in your calendar. Okay. Now, the next thing is that you've got to have time in your schedule to build your business, whether you're working a full-time job, you have kids, all the things, right? Everybody only has 24 hours. I don't even care if you tell me there's people that have extra hours in the day and you have no idea how they get it all done. I can guarantee you they're probably time blocking. So first off, get into your calendar and schedule out the times that you're unavailable, and find the time in there for your business. Okay. It's got to be in the calendar. Okay. And I'd show you my calendar, but you'd probably barf. So I'm not going to do that. So then I want you to identify your target market. If you haven't identified your target market yet, you can go back into the Facebook group, Xelliss Facebook group. And in the resource, in the units, there's going to be a training called Target Market. And big hint, most people need to start with struggling network marketers. Okay. So that's my take on that. All right. So now, before we get into the algorithm and making friends with it, there are two things that you want to remember about building your business. Okay. There's an active way and a passive way. Can you guys give me some examples of actively building your business? I want you to drop it in the chat because, like I said, I don't want to just talk at you. I want to do this with you. Okay. So just drop them in the chat. I'm going to see what you got in here. Okay, so inviting. Okay. Now remember, active. Okay, we're going to talk about this. Okay, actively building your business. Presenting. Keep going. And following up. Okay, here's the thing. Active strategies are launch events. Okay, that's where you're getting people onto a Zoom. You're explaining to them with your upline what you got a hold of. You're asking them if they're interested, and you're sending them the stuff. So inviting. Okay, so inviting your audience to take a look at what we're doing, to the weekly team events, or having your own events if you really want to grow faster. Okay, now if you're brand new and you're hearing this for the first time, I want you to attach yourself to your upline. In fact, I want you to text them right now and ask, what do I need to do to get to my next goal by the end of this period? Okay, because you've got to be inviting, you've got to be presenting, and you've got to be following up. Those are the three things that make you money actively. Okay. Now, some of the things that we do in our team is the launch events, sneak peeks, inviting our audience to take a look at what we're doing in the weekly team events. So those are Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you guys aren't aware, there's a schedule in the Facebook group. You can go check that out. Or having your own events. If you really want to grow faster, do both. Okay. Now, these are active strategies. Okay. The other thing that's an active strategy is asking for what you want. That means ripping off the Band-Aid and actually inviting. Okay. If you never ask, you're never going to get. And I'm going to tell you a story right here so that you guys all know how serious I am about this. So I used to build network marketing traditionally, like face-to-face, go talk to my neighbors, drive 2.5 hours, talk to, everyone I know, get new leads, do events where I got new leads, bridal events, all the things. Okay. That's how I used to build my business. And I got super frustrated with building my business that way because it wasn't effective. It was really hard for me to build relationships with people that, were strangers, and just getting their name and number, like in the mall or whatever, as a cold contact and me calling them was not effective. Okay. That might work for some people. It just didn't work for me. Now, I started building an audience online. I started building my business online. I started teaching other people what I was learning. And I had a gal that came to me and asked me about what company I was with. And her name, hopefully, I think she's on here. I seen her earlier, but she's going to laugh when I tell the story. Her name is Adrienne Lindeen. Okay. She came to me and she said, hey, I want to check in to, working with you, X, Y, and Z. And because I was so passively building my business, right, I didn't want to like pounce on her. I didn't want her to feel like I was like, trying to like convince her to join me and all the things. She didn't join me in my team. Okay. Now she went and joined another team in another company, and I was kind of really upset and disappointed by it. However, she came back later and joined me. It wasn't long after. It was probably like 30, 60 days later. She came to me and she said, Brandy, I've made a mistake and I want to check out at working with you instead. And I said, okay, absolutely right. So as Adrienne and I became closer and better friends, I asked her straight up. I said, Adrienne, what was the reason that you, didn't join my team to begin with? Because I'm always evaluating myself. Remember when Carrie taught you how to evaluate a few weeks ago, or maybe it was even last week? I don't know what day it is anymore, but Adrienne said, it's because you never asked me or acted like you wanted me on your team. Now, let me just take a pencil right here and stab myself in the eye, right? Like that was the dumbest thing I could have ever done, is been so super passive. Here she was showing me interest that she wanted to enroll in my team, but I was so passive and so like, hey, I don't want her to feel like I'm trying to like, jump on her or whatever. Adrienne felt like I didn't want her on my team. Can you imagine? Like, she's such a badass, right? Like, can you imagine not wanting Adrienne on your team? So what I'm saying to you is that being passive is awesome and there's a place for it. And we're going to talk about it next. But actively is what actually builds your business. And if you want to grow faster, you've got to do both. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about being a spammy weirdo where you're posting all over the place about, Xelliss and our products, and, you're sending a message to your friend that already said no, that they're not interested. You're sending them all the info anyway, and you're sending them a link to enroll. That's a spammy Pamela or Tamala or Grammy, whatever. If your name is Pamela or Tamala or Tammy, we're not being, like trying to hurt your feelings. It just rhymes, right? So we'll do spammy Grammy. Don't be a spammy Grammy. Okay. You don't want to be that way. You want to be respectful, a human being first. Okay. But I'm talking about bringing professional, the word professional, into what we do here inside of Xelliss. What we do is professional, right? Jean-Michel, professional. I can't even say his name right. He's a professional. He's like a renowned scientist in his field, right? He's a professional. We are professionals. We don't need to throw crap all over our, social media and send our friends messages about joining us if they've already told us no. Okay. And we don't want to be the billboard for Xelliss, because that's like, people are just going to go to Google and they're not going to end up on your team. So again, I want you to get with your upline for guidance. Now let's talk about passive. Now, are you clear on what is active? It is inviting, presenting, following up, and enrolling. There's only 4. They're not hard to remember. Okay. Those are the things that actively build your business. Okay. Now, don't be like me. And if somebody's showing interest or asking you about your business, that you just kind of ignore them, because I feel really bad. I mean, I love Adrienne, right? And I'm so excited she came back to me. But what if she went to that other company and built a huge business and was like, you know what, that Brandy Shaver, she's kind of an a-hole. She didn't want me on her team. I would never want her to think that way about me, right? I would never want anyone to think that about you either. So make sure that you are actively building your business, okay? So let's talk about passive, because some of you dropped some passive stuff in the chat. So I want to talk about passive, okay? So we're clear on what is active. Let's go to the passive. You're right, Jenna. Facebook Lives. Okay. And Tim, this is perfect. If your mouth isn't open, your business is closed. If you are not presenting or inviting, presenting, following up, and enrolling customers and team members, your business, you're not growing a business. Okay. It doesn't mean that you don't need the passive stuff too, especially on social media, right? But Facebook Live videos is passive. Stories is passive. Curiosity post is passive. Engaging with your audience is passive. Growing your audience is passive. All those things have to happen. Okay. But you need to do both to grow your business, unless you want to wait, like I did, for an Adrienne Lundeen to come back to you 60 days later, right? Huge, huge mistake, as Anne would say. Have you guys ever seen Pretty Woman and she walks back into the store and she's like, huge mistake, big mistake, right? Awesome. So now let's get clear on the next things, all right? Because like we talked, inviting humans, presenting to humans, and following up with humans and enrolling those humans are the only thing that makes you money, okay? Everything else you do, it's for free. All the passive stuff serves a purpose. And like I said from the beginning, you've got to do both to be successful, all right? So now let's talk about making friends with the algorithm to get results. How many of you would love to hack the algorithm? And I actually learned this from one of my mentors. His name's John Eric. And the number one rule you must never forget on social media is that your business, for your business, you've got to give love to get love. Okay, that's just how it works. There is no way around it. You can't hack this. You can't pray. You can't post and pray, right? You cannot hack this issue. You have got to give love on social media to get love. Okay, and this is where the algorithm comes in. It's actually designed for you to connect with people. Okay, and the number one thing that has to happen for people to see your amazing posts and be connected to you, see your live, see your curiosity posts, respond on your stories, all those things, is you actually have to be connected to them. Okay, so connecting with other humans about your products and opportunity is the only way it's going to grow. And if you do this correctly, you're going to have lots and lots of engagement on your posts, and people will be reaching out to join or buy your products. Okay, now here's what the DMO is, and I'm actually going to post it in the chat, and then we're going to go through it real quick. Okay, let's see here. I just got to grab it. And again, I'm the girl that can't copy and paste, so we might be in trouble. Let's see here. Try this again. Control V. I did it. All right. Here's the DMO. Okay. And we're going to talk about this. All right. Here we go. So, and I personally tested this myself. Okay. Because I wasn't getting as much engagement or interaction in my business that I wanted. I wanted more. I wanted more people reaching out to me. I wanted more interaction on my curiosity posts. So I went in search of what I was missing. And this is what I learned. Okay. So I've tested this my own. We teach this to our own team. They've all tested it and it's incredible. I'm telling you, if you do this every day for the next 30 days, you're going to have so many flipping people on your profile and reaching out and in Messenger that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, my hair is on fire. I can't even like see straight, right? So number one, you're going to spend 30 to 60 minutes leaving meaningful comments on your products, your prospects posts, creating conversations. Okay. This is non-negotiable. We are no longer on social media and just being able to do a thumbs up. Okay. Or a GIF, right? And I'm totally guilty of this. How many of you are guilty of this? You're like scrolling through, you're like, trying to get engagement on, getting engagement going on. You're trying to do what you're supposed to be doing. And you're like super lazy about it. I'm the first to admit. Okay. Now here's what I want you to remember, because this will stop you from doing it. If Tim Edwards and I met at a bar or an event or whatever you want to call it, right? I wouldn't walk past him and slap him upside the face with a heart. He'd be like, what the is this, right? Like, I get it that social media has trained us to be a little bit different than all the way human, but I want you to go back to being all the way human, okay? Leave meaningful conversations. Remember to give a lot of love. Use 140 characters at least, okay? Now, some of you just went, holy crap, 140 characters? Yes, 140 characters. Okay, so then number two, once you've done that, you're going to spend 60 to 30 minutes. Now, this doesn't mean you've got to do 400 people in 60 to 30 minutes, okay? This means you are going to go for quantity, okay? Not quality. Wait, other way around. Quality, not quantity. There you go. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Quality, okay? Not quantity. So if you can fit 10 people in, that day on 30 to 60 minutes, leaving meaningful conversations on their posts. Okay, this is about them, their posts. Then that's where I would start. Okay, you don't have to worry about 400 people. Bring it in, slow your roll, do what you need to do to get quality. Okay. Number 2, check your notifications and spend 5 to 10 minutes here. This is like a fire, and this was an aha moment for me. How many of you felt like your notifications are an inbox? It's not an inbox, friends. And when I learned this, my entire life changed. Get into notifications, spend 5 to 10 minutes here. Okay. This is again about them. All the notifications that you're going to get inside of, social media, you're going to go in and you're going to where maybe you left some love, right? Hey, Anne, I saw that you took your little pups to the vet. Is everything okay? I hope, you guys are doing well. Just leaving the conversation, right? Well, if Anne is a normal human being, she's probably going to either message you back on your post or leave some kind of reaction or whatever, right? So you're going to go in there and check your notifications, but I only want you to spend 5 to 10 minutes here. You're going to set a timer. It's important you set a timer because you can get stuck in Facebook land, okay? Number 3, add 5 to 10 perfect prospects as friends. And I want you to use the rules. Someone you want to actually work with. They live in a country where your company is open. Do you guys know where Xelliss is open? Europe, Eastern and Western Europe, including Russia and the UK, the US, and Canada is in a whisper launch, except they whisper real loud. Okay. So that's where you need to be enrolling people. Okay. We don't need people from, I have a gal that wants to enroll. She's from South Africa. Guess what? I can't enroll her. She can't do business. She can't get product. It costs extra money, right? They've got to be open for us to do business. Don't recruit them if they're not open. All right. So live in a country where your company's open. You want to actually work with this person. These are the rules you're going to do when you're friending 5 to 10 people, and they're not weirdos. Stay away from really like religious people and super political people. Okay. Ain't nobody got time for that. That's just a lot of stuff that you're going to have to deal with. All right. Number 4, post or go live. And this is where Kat's training and Adrian's training comes in. That is inside of the training, inside of the units. You guys can go check that out. You can switch it up each day to keep it interesting. You could go live once a week. You could do a curiosity post one day. You could maybe do a quote the next. You could then do a poll, right? Like mix it up, make it interesting. Okay. Keep it interesting and focus on your target market. All right. Number 5, get into Messenger and send 5 meaningful messages. This could be to a friend catching up, right? Or it could be to connect with someone that you just met. It could be doing a follow-up, right? Maybe somebody commented on a product post that you did, or maybe somebody commented on a post you did. I know Jay Switz did a post about, her incredible team and how she's building an incredible team here. And, she had people commenting, wanting to know more underneath that post. Those people you would get into Messenger with, okay? Number 6, do your follow-ups. Anyone that's commented on the post, reach out to those that are interested in taking a look or taking a look at your products. Number 7, and I don't care when you do number 7, but here's the key. You've got to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 in order, or the algorithm doesn't work. Okay. You can't spend 30 to 60 minutes over here doing, giving love to everybody. And then 4 hours later, go check your notifications. And then 5 hours later, go add your 5 to 10 and then post. Okay. Because you've got to give the love and do all those things in between 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the algorithm to hack. You want people to see your post. And if you really want some more engagement on top of that, once you post, go back in and do 30 minutes of more love on other people's stuff. Okay. Now, number 7 is personal development. You do 20 minutes of personal development a day. I do my personal development while I'm getting ready. Audiobooks, whatever, podcasts, whatever, 20 minutes of personal development. And then number 8, you're really going to like this because you got to get off social media and go do something with your life so you have something to post about. Okay. Because just sitting in front of your computer all day or scrolling on Facebook isn't going to build your business, right? So how many of you just went, oh man, seems like a lot? We'll see what you're saying here. Yes, Katrine, be sure to have your post ready before you go give love. And then you forget what you're going to post, right? So and again, if you're brand new and you're like, holy crap, this is a lot, I would start, honestly, I would spend 30 to 60 minutes a day leaving meaningful comments and maybe add 5 perfect prospects. And then I would post. Keep it super simple if you're brand new and your brain just bled out your ear, right? But this is for the people that want to like totally explode their business. What I just gave you. All right. But we don't want you to get overwhelmed, because when you get overwhelmed, you do nothing. So just simplify it down. And if you work a job and you're like, well, crap, you know, I'm a work from 8 to 10 or whatever. I mean, I know like Will Ryan, for instance, he's in his diesel like 98% of the time. I think he's home for less than 24 hours, right? You've got to figure out a way to get it done. Get up earlier, go to bed later. It's best if you post in daylight hours though, for Facebook algorithm, just so you know. So spend 30, 60 minutes, check your notifications, do your 5 perfect prospects and post or go live. And then the rest of it, you can figure it out from there. Now, how many of you have stuff happen where like, you're like, oh crap, my whole day just got hijacked? And I love to tell this story because before my grandfather passed away, he would show up. It was either a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday. And he lives a half an hour away, right? And he was almost 90. He was 89. And he would just pull into my driveway and I would see him right out my window, because my window's right here out of my office. And I would be like, they just got hijacked, right? But because he was my grandfather, and that's just the way the old boy did it, right? He doesn't call you. That's not the generation he comes from. You show up. That's how you do it, right? So because I love to spend time with him and I knew he wouldn't be here forever, I would instantly move everything off my plate and I would go spend time with my grandfather, unless I was doing a training like this. And he's actually shown up before. I wish he would show up now, but he's actually shown up before, standing right behind me saying, when are you done, right? He doesn't know that he's in front of 3, 4, 50,000 people, okay? So it's just kind of funny. But when that happens, stuff like that happens. You know, River got sick this week and things didn't turn out the way that I needed them to turn out. So I built a skeletal DMO. Now, a skeletal daily mode of operation is something you do before your head hits the pillow, that your business is still going to move forward when you're in the middle of a tornado. Okay. So mine is, and I'm going to give you mine so you can build your own. I want you to build your own. The first one, the 1 through 8 steps, it's non-negotiable. If you want your business to totally explode, do it. Okay. Set a launch event with your upline and start doing this on your social media. And by the time the period's over, you're probably going to be Ruby. That's how it's going to work. Okay. But your skeletal DMO, for me, is to connect with 3 new people, because I'm really always concerned about building my audience bigger, right? I want more people in my circle. I want more people that know who I am, that know and like and trust me. Okay. Number 2, I email my list. But a lot of you, you know, if you don't have a list, then you are going to, again, it's just connecting with more people. So for instance, instead of connecting with 3 people, maybe you connect with 6. And then number 3 is go live 3 times a week. And maybe that's 1 time a week for you, but build a skeletal DMO. And I want you to drop it in the chat here. And if you need time to think about it, then I want you to try to drop it in the Facebook group. Okay. Now, remember, this is the key, because practice, this takes practice, 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 practice. When you fall off the wagon, I want you to get back on it. And this is going to take you longer at first when you get started, right? I know all of you, most of you know who Kat Krasilnikova, and I never say her name right. I hope I said it right that time. But on her curiosity training, right, she can like whip up a curiosity post in minutes. I'm talking probably less than 60 seconds, okay? Because she's practiced. But when you're brand new, it doesn't come as easy. I remember comparing myself to Kat, and I would be like, oh my gosh, it's an hour and I'm still staring at this stupid post, right? Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep reading everybody's posts. Don't steal other people's content. That's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Don't steal other people's content. Use it to model, right? Make it your own, change it up, use your own stories, but it's going to become more natural as you do it, okay? So then the next piece of this is tracking. You've got to be tracking what you're doing. If you're not tracking in network marketing, you're not doing anything, because you've got to know who's where, when they're where, and who needs to be followed up with. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let me just check the questions. Corny Hill, that's perfect. Yeah, our curious post always business. No, Megan, if you haven't seen the training Fran did on content buckets, go back and watch that one, because you need content buckets. You can't post the same thing every day. All right, and do we want to open this up for questions? And do you guys have any? Yeah, daily mode of operation is DMO. And I will tell you right now, if you master the mundane, because it's not fun, right? Doing the same thing every day. You're like, oh my gosh, it's kind of like eating macaroni and cheese every day. My kids are like, bleh. Mastering the mundane. If you master the mundane, you'll be a billionaire in this industry.
Yeah, we're going to have this posted as well. They'll have two separate ones, one with JM and Anaki that Chris is posting, and that'll be about the product and the biome. And then this will be a separate training with Brandy talking about the daily method of operation, the DMO. So guys, how many of you fell in love with this wonderful, wonderful step-by-step process, as she's always given it her fire and her best? If you have any last minute questions, just post them up there real quick, please, 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 please. And because I know a lot of you are all set to get off of here and get into
Get to
DMO.
work. Yeah.
You might go ahead and cut the recording off so it's shorter and then take questions.
For
For
sure.
people to watch it. For people to watch it.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Tim.
Randy, may I ask a question?
You bet.
If you start communicating with a person and you asking for a friendship and you don't get response, person for whatever reason doesn't want to be your friend, do you continue working, posting and commenting on them, or you just move along?
No, just move along. Once they've they've like said what they're doing and what they're not doing, you just move along. You don't necessarily have to unfriend them, but if you rip the Band-Aid off and said, hey, you know what, like, this is what I'm doing, I'd love for you to do it with me, and they're like, I'm not interested, then you can't like necessarily make them do anything. So there's billions, like literally billions of people on Facebook, billions. That's the great thing about social media, is that we don't have to worry about running out of people.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Brand.
Robin Grant, on your best way to post product content, I would go do Kat's Curiosity Post training. Chris is posting them right now because he's a badass. Look at him, drop all the links for you there. Curiosity Post training, and then the buckets training.
Okay,
So they're all there for you guys.
yeah, let me just make a comment about that, because if you go to the Xelliss group, the Facebook group, our US Facebook group, there are, I think it's called units, it might be called something else now, guides.
Guides, yeah.
Okay, and you go down there, you'll see, how to get your business started, and you'll see, how to launch, how to do this, that, and the other. And there's a segment called,
Let me just show you guys really quick,
okay,
because it's really helpful to know. And I know everybody's like a more see than, just do, right? So we want Xelliss. I don't know if I could spell it right. Not Ellen, Xelliss official. We don't want to go to Ellen.
okay, and it'll be the last one in. So one of the last two was with Fran, and then there was one with Kat, and there was one with Adrian. So you can get some really good titles there. And I go back and I use that all the time. And you can tag your people in it all the time.
Don, we are not doing business in Uganda yet.
Okay, I have a couple of prospects that are interested, but
Yeah, try to keep your prospects in countries we're open. Lots easier, less work for you, faster business building, and there's less problems with shipping, tax, and duties.
all right. Well, they're on today, so I'm hearing, and I will stay in touch with them and let them know when we launch.
All of Europe, Eastern and Western. including Russia, UK, US, and Canada in the really loud whisper launch, right, Shelley? And my Maynard. Canadians are crazy.
Do you want to take away the spotlight, Chris, because she's frozen right now.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
Yes, I can hear you, but you can't see the picture.
Oh, it might be on your side, Anne. If you hit view and go gallery view, it will change it.
Oh, there we are. Look at that. Everybody's here.
Here we are.
Okay, so somebody's asking to use Trello for your DMO. For those of you that, you know, have an interest in automation, then there are things like yes, Trello is a very good source.
Yeah, there's lots of tools that we use.
Yeah. Okay.
Trello, when you look at Trello, your brain might bleed, but just stick with it.
Yeah, it's a simple system to set up and got lots of colors and pictures, which is what I like.
Yeah.
Okay, DMO on every social media site or across them all.
I would suggest, Robin, that you stick with one. You probably don't have enough bandwidth to do all. Stick with one, get it rocking and rolling. And then if you feel like moving from there, maybe when your business is a bit bigger, you have an assistant help you out, go over to a different social media platform. Keep in mind that we want quality, not quantity, quality. Okay.
Okay, well, there's been a lot of questions now about Trello. I would suggest that you just go and Google Trello and check it out, guys. And then you'll see that there are other systems as well. I kind of found Trello. I told Brandy about it and then we went exploring together. So you'll figure those things out as to what helps you and what makes it easiest for you in building it. Now, that's not to say that I still use a pad of paper and a pencil to keep track of things. So
yeah, absolutely. You can do whatever works. Don't overcomplicate it. I mean, that's one of Tim's main words. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple and just go to work. That's the key. Because if you spend 5 hours, you know, learning Trello and then you do your DMO 3 weeks from now,
yeah,
you're not getting anywhere, guys. Like, get your butt to work.
Yeah. And I love what he said, you know, the 4 real key revenue producing activities. One more time, Brandy.
Inviting, presenting, follow up, and enrolling. Those are the only things that make you money.
Everything else you do for free. All right, guys, I want to say a big thank you to Brandy Shaver. Let's give her lots of love and hugs and say thank you, because that was just rocking hot. A perfect triple header for today, guys, would you say? So let's get out there. Let's get rocking. Let's make this week magical for everyone. And we close out tomorrow night. So it's not over till you know who sings. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.